A New York City landlord was finally able to evict a sex abuser tenant who was squatting in the property for more than 3 years. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. So I have an interesting update for you today to a video I did a while back talking about this New York City landlord who has had to deal with these squatters who are just staying in his property for years on end, tearing the place up, and could not be evicted. Okay, this is one of the nightmare scenarios that occurred due to the whole pandemic eviction moratorium nonsense. Okay, so finally the landlord had their case in the courts, and guess what? The courts agreed these people got to go. And the landlord had the police down there and were able to get these people up out of the property for the first time in more than 3 years. Okay, so yeah, this is a bad situation. It was caused totally by, all the bureaucracy, all the nonsense that goes on in New York. Okay, so I watch a lot of videos about from business owners and real estate investors within the city of New York, and they're always saying how, hey, the government it's like they're working against you. It's like they don't give a crap about people actually wanting to own and operate a business within the city, and instead they put these policies in place that want to push you away, want to make you leave, and that's pretty much what happened with these landlords here. Okay, they've decided they just want to sell these properties and not have to deal with any of it anymore. And you know what? That's not good. It's not good for tenants. It's not good for the landlords. It's not good for the city. And the worst part about this story, because the squatters were basically staying in this property for rent free so long and they wouldn't allow the landlord to get up in there. Well, the city decided they wanted to assess $370,000 worth of fines onto the landlord. Can you believe this nonsense? Okay, the landlord can't get in the property, can't evict the tenant, and then the place obviously is going to fall into disrepair, but the city is going to continue to fine the landlord and screw them over for no good reason. It's a horrible thing to happen. Okay, I realize that you've got great appreciation up there in New York. But if you're a landlord and you can invest somewhere else and not have to deal with this nonsense, well, in my opinion, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's worth it dealing with all the bureaucracy, with all the laws and rules that are anti-landlord, with all of the horrible tenants that treat you like crap, dealing with rent control? Okay, do you think this is worth it? If you do, more power to you. I have high amount of respect for the landlords in New York because they're willing to put up with nonsense that, man, it's too much for me. Okay, but anyway, let's get into this article because it's quite interesting. This article is coming from the New York Post, and it says, squatters brought in by convicted sex abuser finally booted from Brooklyn homes. And they've got a little short video in here with it, and I'll play that for you right now. All right, you saw that video, so let's get into the article. A pair of beleaguered Brooklyn landlords whose properties were allegedly taken over by a convicted sex abuser facing an attempted murder charge have finally gotten their buildings back. The NYPD and a city marshal arrived Friday to oust 10 people who have been living illegally in the trio of rundown Neptune Avenue homes owned by Mohammed Chowdhury and Boyson Lorik, who had struggled for years to boot the squatters. When the pair bought the homes in 2019 for $1.3 million, Peter Fonseca, 45, was living behind one of the garages and refused to leave, according to court papers. And yeah, they've got a couple of pictures in here of, I guess, the police showdown with these squatters, you know. And you know what? I feel bad because it looks like in the picture, it looks like there's some minors in there, some kids. And, you know, I feel bad for the kids, okay? Your parents don't have anywhere to live, so they're trying to live rent-free up in this place, and they have no right to be there. So, you know, they're just kind of stuck in a bad situation. Oh, man. Fonseca and his wife then began to rent out units in the home illegally during the pandemic, the landlords claimed, while the City Department of Buildings levied more than $370,000 in violations and fines for the crumbling structures. The landlords had said they couldn't address the problems and stop the fines because the squatters wouldn't let them in. "You have to arrest me. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere," one elderly squatter cried as authorities tried to usher him out. A few hours later, he got in a minivan and left. Well, it looks like he said he wasn't going anywhere. It looks like he's going, okay? And from the looks of the video, the landlords are taking correct measure. You know, they're changing the locks. They're boarding up the windows. They're trying to keep, you know, the squatters from coming back and then starting this whole problem over again. Now, I personally would pay security people to come by, and, you know, I'd be over there every single day until I got this property sold or rented out or whatever it takes to make sure that, hey, these squatters aren't coming back and this problem doesn't begin again. The 3 homes were eventually emptied after 8 hours. The landlord said they're planning on ending the nightmare altogether and selling the property. "It was bad enough that people were giving us a hard time, but when the city comes after you," Lork said, "we're in this business so long we've never seen anything like it. We just happened to step in a mine." Yeah, they stepped in a landmine, essentially, okay? They ended up with the perfect storm of bad situation to have to go through, and they are out probably hundreds of thousands of dollars because this is 3 units, okay, all renting in a place like Brooklyn that is very expensive. They had to continue to pay any mortgages they owed on the property. They had to continue to pay insurance, taxes, etc. And the places are in disrepair because they weren't allowed in, so they're going to have to go in there and spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in order to fix it up. Right? And if they don't and they decide to sell, well, they're going to have to take a huge discount on the value of the properties in order to sell it in the, you know, disrepaired state that it's in right now, or all, you know, that they are in right now. So yeah, like I said, I don't feel bad for these squatters. You know, they knew what they were getting into when they came into the place. They probably had more than sufficient notification that, hey, you guys are going to have to go, and they didn't make any plans for it. So yeah, they got kicked to the curb, thankfully, and now they got to find somewhere else to live. These landlords finally have their property back, and, you know, this is just a bad situation overall. And, you know, hopefully these landlords, they come out okay after they either fix these buildings up or sell them.